Hey everybody, it's Read Comics 81 and I'm back with another comic book haul video. Hope everybody's doing well out there in the community. So for this video I've got a Chihuahua on my lap, so we'll see how this works out. I was gone for a lot of the day yesterday, so she's feeling like really needy today, so I don't want to kick her out of the room. So you can hang out with Daddy. So for this video, I've got some books to show from my LCS, an antique mall, and I also went to the Great Lakes Comics Expo. It's a quarterly event here in the Midwest in Michigan, in my area. Well, kind of in my area. It's about an hour drive from my house, but found a pretty good stack of stuff there. And first, I want to show off my Spider-Man shirt. Got this at Meijer for $10. Pretty cool shirt. Meijer is a store here in the Midwest. It's kind of like Walmart, but a little bit smaller and not as big of a chain. And I also picked up this Spider-Man coffee mug. It says The Amazing Spider-Man 1962 New York. Thought that was pretty cool. I'm always on the lookout for new coffee mugs. I drink a lot of coffee and I get bored with my mugs quickly, so to find a cool superhero mug was really nice. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the books. First I'm going to show off some cheap Charlton books that I found at my LCS. This first one is Fightin' Army number 61, and this is from January of 1965. I don't buy a whole lot of Charlton, but when I can find them for cheap, I'll pick them up. And I paid $2 for this. Nice flamethrower cover there, the Nazi swastika. Pretty cool cover. Okay, also picked up Fightin' Army number 65 from October of 1965. Now these old Charlton books, they don't have the numbers on the cover, so I had to look these up on mycomicshop.com. I paid only $1 for this one, so I thought that was really cool. Okay, also picked up Fightin' Navy number 85, and this is from January of 1959. Like the trade dress on that. Okay, and also picked up Fightin' Navy number 121, and this is from July of 1965, and I paid $1 for this one as well. All right, and that'll do it for my LCS. I also went to an antique mall and only found one book this time around, but it was one I needed for my Daredevil series, and that is Daredevil number 29. Nice clean white cover. Paid $12.50 for this. Only thing wrong with it is this top corner is ripped off right there, but minor flaw for such an old book. Thought that was a good price. Okay, so let's move on to the Comics Expo. Usually when I go to a convention or any kind of show, I'll have like sort of like a loose game plan for what I'm going to look for that day, and this time my game plan was to try to find some Bronze Age Marvel that wouldn't break the bank. And I think I was pretty successful with that. Didn't find as much as I wanted, but I found a few good things. And first thing I'm going to show is Iron Man 129. Just a really cool Bob Layton cover that I've been wanting for a while, and it is a 1979 direct edition. And I paid $3 for that. Okay, also picked up Marvel Team Up number 72. Pretty high grade copy of this, probably about a VF Plus near mint minus, and I paid $3 for that as well. Just another series that I'm working on. In my last video, I mentioned that I needed one more issue of Power Man and Iron Fist to complete that series. I was actually wrong. I needed 2 more comics to complete that series, and I found one of them, number 74. Now I am down to needing one more issue of this series. I still need number 69 to complete this series. Frank Miller cover. Not his best work. I'm not sure who inked this, but I've always thought that Frank Miller's art looked a lot better when Klaus Janson was inking it. But yeah, happy to get this. I think I paid $3 for this as well. $3 seems to be like the new $1 at the cons these days. Okay, also another series I'm working on, Master of Kung Fu number 63. I paid $5 for this, a little more than I wanted to pay. I'm more comfortable with the $2 or $3 range, but I'm down to just a handful more of these to complete this series, so it's a high-grade copy, so I figured it was worth $5. Also, this was interesting. One dealer had a few books that I wanted. So first one was Master of Kung Fu 65. I also was able to find this. This was a really good find. Spidey Super Stories number 11. First African American Spider-Woman. This is like a $100 book all day long here. Okay, he had 5 on this and he had 15 on this. And I also grabbed Giant Size Spider-Man number 2. And this is the first time that Spider-Man meets Shang-Chi. And it is also the first time that Shang-Chi appears in a title outside of Master of Kung Fu. So, significant book there. And he had 35 on this. So he had 5, 15, and 35, which would have been $55. And he gave me all these books for $30. So I thought that was an excellent deal. I was very appreciative of that. However, I probably should have waited on this, and I'll explain why here in just a minute. But yeah, this here, Spidey Super Stories, number 11, to go back to this for a minute. This is a book that I think flies under a lot of people's radars. I think most Spidey Super Stories issues fly under the radar because there are only a few. Well, besides like the Thanos cover, I think that's the one that most people look for, besides issue number 1. But this is one of the most expensive books in the series right here. So if you guys come across this and it's in decent condition, you know, it's kind of hard to do with the black cover here. But you can find these out in the wild and you can get good deals on this book. Now this one I didn't notice till I got home, but the staples are a little bit rusty, but still, for what I paid for this, it's still an absolute steal on this book. So like I said, I got all 3 of these books for $30, and then about an hour later, I came across this copy of Giant Size Spider-Man number 2, which is in much better condition. That's why I said I probably should have waited to get this. Like, the spine on this one is really nice, and the spine on the other one is kind of like flattened. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but he had 65 on this, and I was able to talk him down to 55. I know I had just bought this book, but I couldn't pass up this high-grade copy. I really wanted a really high-grade, clean copy of this book, so I went ahead and bought it. So yeah, happy to get this in the PC. Just one I've been looking for a while and haven't been able to find one in very good condition. Okay, also picked up Submariner number 23. The first appearance of Orca. How do you stop a human killer whale? I don't know, but Subby needs to figure that out real quick because Orca's got him. So I have not had a chance to read this yet, but it looks like a fun read. I did skim through it to make sure there were no pieces cut out or writing in it or anything like that. And I'll talk about that more in a little bit. But yeah, this is a good copy of this, and I paid $10 for this. The only thing wrong with it that I noticed is, where is it? Right there. Somebody had written 8 cents on there for some reason, which, I don't know, it's kind of a weird price to put on a comic. So yeah, happy to get this. Beautiful cover. I'm going to keep adding more Bronze Age keys as I can find them for cheap. That's like my main focus right now, Bronze and Silver Age keys. Grabbed this out of a $2 bin. This is Web of Spider-Man number 19. This is the first appearance of Solo and a character named Humbug, who is like really nothing, but Solo is the significance for this book. And this is a newsstand copy, as you can see. I thought it was in really, really high grade, which is why I bought it for $2, because I already have a couple copies of this. But when I got it home and took it out of the bag, I realized there was a little bit of creasing on the front and back cover that I hadn't noticed. Non-color breaking creases, but still creases nonetheless. So I was a little bit bummed out about that until I opened this book up and realized that it is a Mark Jewelers variant. And I'm going to show you what this looks like, because there are different versions of Mark Jeweller's inserts. The older ones are like a cardstock, like baby blue. The ones in the middle are like black, but then you've got these more modern ones that are white. And this is one that I had never seen before, so I was happy to get this for $2, and I'm not so upset about the creases anymore. Okay. Moving right along, I had mentioned earlier in the video about checking for pieces cut out and writing inside of books, and I wish I would have done that with this one. Strange Tales 127. This is the second appearance of Clea, and I think the second appearance of Dormammu. This is a book that I've been wanting to acquire for a while, but it's one of the more pricier Strange Tales books. Even though it's just second appearances. And there's a couple more significant things about this book too, like First Cloak. I don't know. Look it up if you want to know, but it's a pretty significant issue. And this is a nice, really nicely presenting copy. It's nice and clean and no major flaws visible on the cover, front or back. But when I opened this up and looked through it when I got home, I gotta show you guys this. This is crazy. Somebody had taken a Sharpie or some other kind of black marker, and they had decided to see what Johnny Storm looks like with black hair. And it's not just that panel. It's like, oh, here's another one down here in the corner, all throughout the book. And not only is it on his hair in those panels, but, you know, it bleeds through onto the other pages too. So, oh, there's a good one right there. Check him out. It's like a high top fade. So I was a little upset about that, but the dealer actually gave this to me for free because he had owed me some credit, and he had bought some books for me that graded out higher than he thought they would, so he owed me some credit. But so this is basically a free book. I thought about taking this to him because I'm pretty close to his shop. His shop is about an hour away from me, and thought about taking this and showing him and asking if I could switch it out for something else. But I don't know. I kind of like this copy. I mean, it's really funny seeing the hairstyles drawn on Johnny Storm in this book. So it doesn't bother me that much. And plus it presents really nicely. So just a unique copy of this book that I think I'm going to go ahead and keep in my PC, even though it's pretty low grade despite how it looks. Okay, let's move on. Also was able to find Tales of Suspense number 79. This is the first appearance of the Cosmic Cube. People want a little bit of money for this on eBay. Paid $10 for this. The only thing really wrong with it is the bottom of the front cover there has a little bit of damage across the bottom, but yeah, not a bad deal for $10. People want like 40, 50, 60 bucks for this on eBay. Okay, also found this. No big deal here. Punisher 18. It's just a cover that I like. I like how the Kingpin is coming through the wall and grabbing the Punisher right there. Kind of reminds me of that Creepshow 2, I think it was, where old Chief Woodenhead comes through the wall and pulls the guy through the wall and scalps him. But anyway, yeah, cool cover. Paid $2 for that. Like that. Winding it down. Usually at these shows, there's a dealer who has a bunch of $5 boxes with some good stuff in it, and he was there this time also. And I usually come away from his booth with at least one good book. Found two good things this time around. Two things that I feel are good books. And the first one is Super Mouse number 45 from Pine Comics. This is from September of 1958. And this is the last issue of the series. I just think this is really cool. I like how he's grabbing the lightning bolts and tying them in knots. And down here you've got the pigs and the cow are all happy and cheering him on. And I like the way the raindrops look. Just a unique cover. And I always like seeing new things in comic books that I've never seen before. So I grabbed this for $5. And the last book I'm going to show from the same dealer, I found Spy and Counter Spy. Oh man, I should have taken this out of the Mylar. Too much glare. But anyway, yeah. Let me see if I can turn it right there. There we go. And this is from November of 1949. This is number 2. And they only made 2 issues of this series. But I thought this was a really cool cover. And yeah, it's not every day you find a cool looking Golden Age book for $5. So I was definitely going to grab this. So that does it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Happy hunting, everybody. Bye.